Alright, let's try this again. I accidentally pressed the stop button. But anyway, I'm going to start with the 10-gallon tank, I'm going to move to the 30, and then I'll move to the 55. And, yeah. This is the 10-gallon tank. This is my breeder tank, or feeder fish tank. There's really nothing to it. Basically, I just put it in the gravel so that there's some beneficial bacteria in the water from the 55-gallon. There's about, I want to say about 14 or 15 minnows left. They're rosy red minnows. There's about 15 of them left. I've been feeding Oscar 1 or 2 a day since I got him. So dependent on how many I feed him, really depends on how long they'll last. I've been feeding them a mix of this stuff. It's called Worley's Tropical Flake Food. This stuff, they sell a higher end one that doesn't cloud your water. I kind of want to get that one again because this one doesn't really do that too well. You know, it says less waste and cleaner water, but they have a tropical fish advanced flake, which my cousin just bought, and his goldfish is just freaking huge from it. But anyway, there's a mix of bloodworms in there, so there's like bloodworms and flake food. I feed them that, and I also feed my bottle sharks that, and they both do pretty well on it. I also feed that to my Jack Dempsey's, and then we'll move to the 30-gallon tank. My Jack Dempsey is getting really big. The big one is really, or rather, he's grown up quite a bit. He's not really afraid of me anymore. He's gotten used to me coming up to the tank and everything and checking him out. The snail's in the corner. I took the snail out of the 55-gallon because Oscar was trying to eat it. I put him in the 30, and my Cory cats are down there in the corner. The littler one hides back here behind the marine land heater. And as you see, the water's not clear yet. This is day 3 of the treatment with the Accu, and it's still not working. So I did a 3-gallon water change this morning in hopes that that would help speed the process. I also treated it with the prime water conditioner, and I put a little bit of aquarium salt in just because the littler guy has, or he's missing most of his tail because this guy's a big jerk and keeps trying to eat him. Alright, now to the 55-gallon. I did a 10-gallon water change today. As you can see, it started to clear up a little bit to me. I mean, visually for me, it looks like it cleared up a little. It's still pretty cloudy if you go to the other end of the tank. But it doesn't have the yellowish-green hue that it used to have. This one was really bad. It was like a yellowish-green hue almost. And it started on this one, but I caught it early enough. But anyway, the bottle sharks seem to have grown almost half an inch in the past couple days. They're getting bigger. My Oscar is enormous, as always. And the 2 parrot cichlids are starting to get a little bit bigger too, I think. My Pleco is about 8 to 9 inches, and the Pictus catfish seems to be getting a little bit bigger too. He grew at least another inch, and he's getting a little bit of a belly on him now. But anyway, the tank has been, you know, I've been fighting it as always. It's been up for about 3 weeks. This one's only been up for about 2. So, I mean, it's kind of confusing, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But it looks, now it's just like a solid white. So I'm thinking it's just beneficial bacteria that's just clouded. But that Accu stuff is supposed to make that drop to the bottom. But we'll see what happens. Alright, I'll show you the side of the tank because that's where you're going to see the real cloudiness of the tank. As you can see, this is the end of my 55-gallon tank. As you can see, my bottle shark's coming over to check us out. You can see my parrot cichlid there, but on the other end of the tank is the other parrot cichlid. He's at like the side of the log, and you couldn't even see my Oscar until he started to swim closer to us. But, you know, it's really hard to see from end to end. I really can't even, I'm visually looking, and I can't even see the other end of the tank. That was kind of cool, he came over and said hi. But the 30-gallon tank is doing the same thing. Like I said, it looks white now. It doesn't have that yellowish-green hue anymore. You can actually see, I mean, this tank is shorter, so you can actually see end to end. But you can see clearly that it's, you know, cloudy. I cleaned both of these tanks thoroughly today. The only thing I didn't change was the filter, or the filter media and stuff, because it doesn't need to be done yet. I checked out both the filter medias, and both of them are still pretty clean, so we're going to just let them run for at least another week or two before I change out the filter media. But as you can see, I mean, like I said, I'm not lying when I'm telling you that it's cloudy. You know, somebody said, you know, it's really not that bad. You know, it doesn't look that cloudy. Yeah, it doesn't look that cloudy from this side. But if you come up the stairs and you've seen it from this side, you'd be like, wow, it's really bad. And like I said, you know, from this side, it's just awful. I don't understand, you know, what's suspended in the water that's causing it to do that either. So, I mean, even the 30-gallon from the front, it doesn't really look that bad. But from the side, you can clearly see it's awful. And that tank's the only tank that's crystal clear. You know, and the only reason I think that is because there's no heater. But I've been keeping the tanks, I mean, you can't really see this one, but that tank's at 77 degrees, 77.7 degrees. And that one, somebody told me to lower the temperature, so I did. And right now it's at 76.5 degrees. So that one's pretty good. They told me to put it down to like 77, or what was it, 70? There's hair on my. They told me to turn it down to like 76 to 78 degrees, and that it would help out, get rid of it all. So I've been doing colder water changes when the temperature gets up to like 78 degrees. I've been doing a little bit colder water changes, roughly about 76 degrees, so that the stuff can try to clear up a little bit. I mean, it from the top, I mean, from right here, it looks pretty clear. You know, or like it's going to clear up, but I guess only time can tell. I'm going to make another update probably later on tonight, sometime around 12 o'clock, midnight, just because I want to see if it actually clears up a little bit. But right now I have to pull the extra food that they didn't eat out of the tank, so I'm going to leave you guys with just a backup view of all three tanks.